Hello friends, welcome to LeggLife. We're back together, obviously, back in Alaska, which is nice.
Yeah.
And we're doing something that I don't think I ever thought I would get to do with my wife.
Right.
Sherry Beth, what are we going to do?
I'm gonna go get a tattoo.
But you guys, here's the thing. It is not Sherry's first tattoo. This is Sherry's second tattoo in 2 weeks.
There is a whole story to that, why this is my second one. We will show you my first one, but first, we need to get inside.
So yeah, you guys, we are going to show you inside. We're going to a place called The Whole Look. It's actually the place that Sherry got her nose piercing done as well. It's where she got her first tattoo. It's where she get her second tattoo done. And we're going to tell you everything. We're going to walk you through the whole process because a lot of you guys know Sherry's skin is unique, right? Not just with the exfoliative erythroderma she had last year, but because of her Ehlers-Danlos syndrome as well. And so tattoos are something that we always thought were kind of off limits for Sherry.
Yeah, I never really thought that I would be able to get one, but I've done a lot of research. And
you guys, like, that is the biggest, I gotta stop you because that is the biggest understatement. Sherry has become an absolute like research fanatic on this. And you've done so much work. And so we're gonna talk all about that because some people may have EDS, you may have exfoliative erythroderma. We're gonna talk about why she chose even this tattoo artist, show you the tattoos, but let's go inside, let's get you some fresh ink.
yeah.
Here we go, into The Whole Look. Sherry Beth, let's talk tattoo location.
Yeah.
The first tattoo you got where?
On my ankle.
On the ankle. And this tattoo is going to be,
Right here.
and that reason is actually kind of important.
Yes.
We'll tell that story later.
Yes.
What is the tattoo artist name that you work with?
Sherri.
Sherri at The Whole Look. All right, let's go. All right, Sherry, you feeling nervous?
No.
No? That's amazing.
I was nervous before the first one.
But now you're basically a professional.
Yeah.
All right, here we are in the room. This is where you got your first tattoo, right?
Yes.
Right there. Also, it's perfect. You guys, look at all of the pink in here. Like, are you kidding? It's like a tattoo room designed for Sherry.
We are like-minded. So we're not gonna actually be able to show you her actually tattooing me, but we will show you after it's done and we'll discuss all of the things.
I'm really proud of you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So you're about to get tattooed.
Yeah.
You have the stencil
I
on.
do.
Can I see it? So this is the stencil. She just put it on. Oh my gosh. I can't wait to see it. And this is amazing. She was just telling us that the tattoo guns that she uses.
She built.
What?
Yeah, so cool.
She's amazing.
She did a great job on this one. Should we show them this one? Or later?
Let's wait.
Okay.
All right, so it's finished, you guys. Look how amazing this looks. And when we get home, Sherry will tell you the meaning behind it, the meaning behind the symbol, and the location. Sherry, how was it?
It was great.
Yeah, it didn't hurt?
No, I mean, it doesn't feel great, but it doesn't hurt so much.
You did so good.
I wouldn't do it again.
All right, we're done. Sherry, you were an absolute champ.
Thanks.
Oh my gosh. Watching you get tattooed and watching you just be like, yeah, no big deal. I got this.
Well, I mean, the thing is, the music is loud, but I have chronic pain.
Yep.
And so I'm kind of always in pain. So
True.
This is like a very centralized pain that I can almost ignore.
Wow.
Does that make sense?
Kind of. Not to me, but to you probably,
I
yes.
mean, it doesn't feel good, but like I can ignore it and I can carry on a full conversation just kind of ignoring that small part of me that doesn't feel good.
So do you want to go home and tell them the story of why tattoos and show them the first one?
Yeah.
Let's do it. All right, we're back home. Sherry has her pink bandage on. She actually saved the pink bandage just for Sherry.
Yes, she did.
Let's tell them the entire tattoo story.
Okay.
So some of you guys will remember in our Seattle vlogs, when we were in Seattle with Cam and Laura, we went to a tattoo studio.
Yes.
You kind of sprung it on me that you wanted to get a tattoo because
it's something that we had been sort of talking about, but I just really got like a bee in my bonnet like when we were there and we had a little bit of time to kill and I was just like, let's go get a tattoo. Let's do it. Let's do it.
But one of the reasons so we have thought, basically, as long as we've been together,
yeah,
that tattoo might not be something you would ever be able to get because Sherry has EDS, Ehlers-Danlos, which is like a connective tissue disorder.
Right.
And so we had heard that not always the best for tattooing.
And then on top of that, with the exfoliative erythroderma that I had last year, and that I'm on medication for the rest of my life, there was some concern about my skin reacting or overreacting to a tattoo as well.
So you had started doing research.
Yes.
In Seattle, you were like, forget it, we're gonna do it.
Yes, well, because most of the research that I had done said that specifically with EDS, like there's really no problems. There's it heals. Like everything that I said or that I read said that people with EDS, their tattoos heal slower. It takes a little bit longer. They bruise pretty bad or whatever, but like not actual issues with the tattoo.
Totally. And so in Seattle, they weren't able to get Sherri in because nobody had ever heard of EDS at the studio.
Right.
They wanted to be very careful, which we appreciate.
Right.
But it kind of sparked this flame in you. You're like, oh no, I'm getting a tattoo.
It's gonna happen. So I, when we got home, I emailed a couple of places here in town and kind of explained my situation and asked if they would consult with me, even just, meet me for a consultation and just see if it's something that they would be willing to do.
Feel your skin, see how you are. And so there's some things that we learned along the way. And now one of the things that this tattoo artist today said, I think is really helpful, is that everybody's skin is different. Every canvas you paint on is different.
Yep.
Sherri's obviously is very unique. So some of the things that we had learned and that were really helpful in this process were to look for artists who were not heavy-handed.
Yes.
Right? Because
people, like artists with light hands, because the bruising and the scarring came from people with heavier hands and just pushing that needle in farther than it's supposed to go.
Yep. And so also to look for artists that do like sensitive skin or like older people's skin, like tattoo on older people.
Yep.
And so Sherri started doing this research and started kind of making this list of sort of the kind of artist that she thought would fit what she was trying to do.
Yeah.
And you, like you said, you emailed a couple and you heard back from...
I heard back from Sherri almost immediately, like within a day. And the other person that I emailed, it took about a week and a half. And so I had already set up a consultation with Sherri by the time I heard back from this other person. So I went ahead and met with Sherri, and she, like, without me even really saying it, like, she had already done some research just from my email. And so she, like, without me even giving her my list of, like, this is what needs to happen, she was like, so just from, like, the little bit that I did, I want to do a lot more, but the little bit that I did, I feel like I'm just going to need to be a little more light-handed. We're going to have to do, like, and, like, all of, like, the buzzwords that I had in my phone, she said, like, without me saying them to her.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I'm sold.
Yeah.
And then she was really thorough. She wrote down Ehlers-Danlos, she wrote down exfoliative erythroderma, and she was like, I'm going to look into these before we actually do anything. Before I actually put anything on your skin, I'm going to read all about this. I'm going to do all of these things. And so we made an appointment for a couple weeks after that. And she did all of her research, and she did ask for doctor's notes. And she was
very thorough.
Very thorough, and she was just like, I know you've got verbal okays from your doctors, but I kind of want something in writing, like, just for my own records. I was like, yep, we can do that. So I got her that. She was just so concerned and thorough, and really wanted to make sure that this was done well, and that it wasn't going to be something that would hurt me. She was just great. And she's just a really nice person.
Yeah, she's spectacular.
Yeah.
Spectacular. So, you have your consultations, you really decide, okay, I want to get tattooed.
Yep.
And you had a design in your mind, we'll talk about that in a little bit.
Yeah. That
was very significant. It's the one you got today. But that's not the tattoo you started with.
It's not. So, she really wanted to do... So I got the design that I got today, I wanted right here specifically. She really wanted to do something smaller, something less conspicuous, and a location that would be easily hidden in the event that my skin reacted horribly.
You know what it reminded me of? It reminds me of when you like buy something and they're like, test on a small piece of fabric first before, you know what I mean?
Right.
That's kind of what it
kind of, yes.
really was like.
She really wanted to test on a smaller, inconspicuous place. And so the first tattoo that I got, I think we can put a picture up.
We'll put a photo up, yep.
We can put a picture up. This is something that we were sort of like throwing around ideas, and I was like, I like books, I like coffee. And so I literally, like, after the consultation, I went back to work and on a sticky note, I like drew this out, and I was just like, something like this. And so I sent it to her and I was like, can we do something sort of like this? And she was like, absolutely. And she made it way cuter. So like she cleaned it up and just made it look really way cuter than the pencil drawing on a sticky note that I had given her. And so we did that on my ankle.
Yeah, so this actually happened while I was gone.
Yes.
I was not in town when tattoo number 1 happened.
Right.
I was in Florida or Ohio? I was in Ohio. Or wait, I was in Florida.
You were in Florida.
I was in Florida. That's right. I was on the Florida trip.
Yep.
And so I'm going to be really honest. I was freaking out. Here's the thing. I support Sherri in everything Sherri wants to do. Like, there is nothing that she could be like, you know what? I want to do this. I want to dye my hair pink and purple. I want to get my nose pierced. I want to get tattoos. Like, I am 100,000,000% Sherri's biggest fan in this world.
I appreciate that.
Well, you are worth it. However, knowing the skin stuff that she had, knowing all this stuff, I was just afraid that what if this triggers a reaction? And I'm not here. And so you guys, I was like, Desi? Like, I had Nurse Desi.
Desi was literally checking in like every hour. How you doing?
Yeah.
How you feeling? How's it looking? Are you okay?
Any rashes? Any popping up? Anything? And so like,
it was so funny, especially like the first few days afterwards. Like, it was constant. How you doing? Sherri, how you doing?
But it went spectacular.
It was fantastic. So my first one, so obviously, like, when you get the tattoo, it's a little bit red around it. She had commented, Shara had commented after it was done, she's like, oh, like, it's barely red. And she's like, that's good. That's, like, your skin's really healthy. And I was like, okay, good. And so I did all the aftercare instructions that she gave me, and it, like, the redness was gone. That was like a Friday night, and by Sunday morning when I woke up, the redness was completely gone. And it barely peeled, like, it didn't bruise at all. It didn't, like, none of the things that these boards that I've been, like, forums and stuff that I've been reading, really, none of the bad stuff happened.
So tattoo number 1 goes better than you could have imagined.
Beautifully.
We'll talk about pain in a little bit, because I want you to compare the pain between the two. Mm-hmm. So then, because tattoo 1 goes so great, it kind of gives you the okay to move forward with the bigger, more prominent tattoo number 2.
Yes.
Which is the one you got today. It's the one you wanted.
Yes. And I didn't plan this, but this morning was actually also my injection day. And so I gave myself the injection. Actually, he gave me the injection this morning in my upper arm back here, and then I got the tattoo. Which is really cool. A few hours later.
So I want you to tell, because this isn't just like, some people are like, oh, it was a cool design, so I had him stick it on my shoulder, right? Like, there's intention behind what you got, why you got it, and where you got it.
And where I got it. So the design that I got, if you Google it, it just means new beginnings. And I don't know where it started. It's not like a 6,000-year-old, like, Celtic symbol. I don't know where it began, but it's a generally accepted truth that it means new beginnings. Mm-hmm. And I came across it years ago, and I don't remember where or how, but it's kind of always been in the back of my mind, like, if I ever get a tattoo, I kind of want that. Like, I think that's really cool, and it's pretty, and it's, you know, I kind of just like it. And so I kind of had this in the back of my mind forever. But then with all of my health stuff last year, and then when I was really kind of like, I think I can get a tattoo, and this is what I want. Like, there wasn't any question about what I wanted. So then I was trying to decide where, and I decided I wanted it here because this is where the rash first started, in late November, early December of last year. And so I really wanted it here, kind of in as a symbol of new beginnings, that part of my body. That's where the rash started. It put my whole life on a different trajectory than I had expected it to be on, and gave me a lot of answers to a lot of things. And so it was a new beginning, really. The start of that rash was a new beginning for me.
So crazy.
And so I really wanted it there specifically.
And like, we didn't plan on you getting the tattoo on your injection day. We didn't plan any of that kind of stuff.
No, like she was like, I can do this day, and it was like, cool. And then like later that day I was like figuring out when my injection would be next, and I was like, oh, hey. So
it's obviously super meaningful, a great location. Do you like it? Do you like them both?
Yes.
Yeah.
They both, so the first one, I was a little bit disappointed that I had to get a smaller, not this.
Because you wanted that at first. You wanted to just like jump into the deep end. You have a hair on you. I got it, we're good.
Thanks.
You wanted to jump into the deep end of the pool.
I knew what I wanted, and I wanted it here, and this is what I wanted. Can we just do this? And so I was a little bit like disappointed about having to get something else. But I really love my first one. It means a lot to me, partially because I drew it, partially because it's books and coffee. Like,
it's your brand.
It's my brand. And so I was just like, okay. And like, the more that I see it, the more I just love it.
Yeah. It's
very me. I'm still a little bit disappointed that this couldn't be my first one, but that's okay because I have it now.
So from 0 tattoos, not knowing if you'd ever be able to even get them, to 2 in 2 weeks.
Correct.
Do you want more?
Yes.
We'll talk more about that in a little bit. I want to talk about pain, because people always ask, and they've asked me, I have a couple tattoos, getting several more now, because you guys, the race is on. Like, we were actually talking about this in the studio.
He was 2 ahead of me for our entire marriage.
And so I was like, yeah, I'll get more eventually. But
not our entire marriage. He got a second one while we were married.
That's true. Sherri, I'm like, Sherri's never going to catch up. She caught up in 2 weeks. And so now I'm like, oh man.
Boom.
I got to make appointments. I need fresh ink.
I have so many more ideas.
I have many as well. Pain. Ankle, forearm. What hurt the most? Did it hurt? How would you describe it? Keeping in mind that because of your, like, you've dealt with chronic pain your whole life, so your pain threshold is way above like what I have.
Probably.
Oh no, for sure. Because I've seen the way you and I react to certain things. And I'm just like, Sherri literally may be superhuman.
Okay.
Let's be very honest.
I'm just used to pain.
Yeah.
So it's a different kind of pain than what I deal with on a daily, because the chronic pain that I have is mostly like full body, or like a whole area, like my entire knee or my entire hip or whatever. And it's just like this aching, like in the bone kind of pain. This was different because it's very centralized.
It's very concentrated.
Yes.
Yeah.
It didn't feel good. It's not something that I'm just like, you know what I feel like doing is getting stabbed repeatedly with a needle. It doesn't feel good, but it wasn't so bad that I couldn't basically ignore it and just like carry on a conversation. And actually talking made it easier. And
she was really, I will say, the artist was great at that. Like, yes. She was so good at keeping conversation moving and just like spectacular.
Yeah, and so like I know like when there were lulls in the conversation, and like all I was focusing on was that jabbing, that's when it hurt more. But if I remember to breathe, because I would forget to breathe, if I was remembering to like deep breaths in and out, and actually just like carry on a conversation, I could mostly ignore it.
So a lot of people have this perception of what the pain of getting a tattoo will be. For you, was it as bad as you thought it would be? Was it not as bad, about what you expected?
It was not nearly as bad as I was expecting.
Yeah, that was the same for mine too.
Yeah, again, it doesn't feel good, but it wasn't so painful that I don't want to do it again. Obviously, I got a second one, and I have many more ideas for more. So, Yeah, I don't...
Realistically, and I know we haven't talked about this, realistically, how many tattoos do you think you could see yourself getting?
I don't know. I don't think that I would ever want to do like a full sleeve or anything like that. I think that I would just do here and there kind of things. I don't know. I have ideas for like 3 or 4 more right now.
Oh gosh. I gotta say.
Okay, I want to mention just for a second. You said you were surprised at my lack of reaction.
Oh yeah. So I've been in rooms where friends got tattooed. Okay, I have a colored past, right? And I've been in rooms where people were getting tattooed at house parties with like not professional equipment.
Yeah, let's not do that.
No.
Go to professional.
Pro tip, don't do that. But I've also been with friends in tattoo studios where they're getting work done. Mm-hmm. And most people, especially the first one or the first couple, like there is some like wincing, or you know what I mean? Like, I mean,
flinching.
Kind of flinching, but more just like you can look at them and see the discomfort or pain on them. And it was the weirdest thing to me because I watched Sherri pretty much the whole time, and you would have thought she had AirPods in when it was just like listening to her favorite album, because there was no noticeable pain on your face or even discomfort. And it was the strangest thing to me because I've never seen that before. Like, it was just like, all right, what's up? We're just hanging out in a chair on Thursday night. Here you go. Crazy. So I was really proud of you for the way you did it. I'm also proud of a couple things. I'm really proud of the research you put into this because you didn't take this lightly.
No, I really did do a lot of research. I did talk to my primary care physician. I did talk to my EDS doctor. I really tried to cover all my bases. I read everything that I could find on Reddit and and Facebook and all kinds of stuff. I really tried to get an idea of what this was going to be for me. And so a lot of the forums and Facebook posts and stuff did say just kind of stay away from color, specifically red. For whatever reason, a lot of the people that if they did have some kind of negative reaction, it was when they got a red in their tattoo. And so we talked about doing this in like a pink and purple, and we decided not to because red would be the base in those, and we just didn't want to risk it. So when I get more tattoos, they will probably just be black and gray. I probably will not venture into the colors just because it's the kind of thing I don't want to risk that. Like, I don't want to, let's just see what this does, you know?
Totally.
So.
I also really love that we 100% found our tattoo artist.
She's so great.
Whoa.
She's so great. And I had told him this, like I met with her in the consultation. And
today was my first time meeting her.
This is my third.
Yeah.
So I did the consultation without you, and then I did the first tattoo without you, and I don't know, I really like her. I really connected to her.
Yeah.
We have a lot of the same kind of interests, and so like she has one whole wall in her studio is pink, like pink, and so I was like, I like you.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I had already obviously talked to him about her, and I was just like, she's so great, and you're just like, yeah, okay. But we walked out and he was like, no, but she's fantastic.
Oh, I mean, it was the best tattoo experience I've ever been a part of, and I didn't even get tattooed. I mean, just the way that she interacted with you, the way that she approached even the care of what your skin is like, wanting to like make sure everything was okay. The other fact that she's just a phenomenal artist. I mean, like every box that you could check, and then even like cool stuff. Like, oh,
she has green hair.
Well, I was gonna say she built those tattoo guns.
She did.
What?
Which I didn't know. That's amazing. She said that she came from a really mechanical family, and so it's the kind of thing like, you want to know how something works, so if it breaks you can fix it. And so she literally just built her guns.
So we're going to, I built my guns. Sorry. And so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna link to her Instagram down below. I know a lot of you guys are in Anchorage, you're in the area. We actually already had one person reach out and say, hey, rumor on the street is Sherri's getting fresh ink. Where are you getting it at? I need new tattoos. So we're gonna link to her Instagram below if you want to check her out. She will be doing my next tattoo, probably all of my next tattoos, because I was just so impressed.
Right. I mean, it's the kind of thing, like, if we're on vacation and decide we want one, then we'll go send somebody else. But like, if I'm in town, I'm going to her.
I completely
Even
agree.
if I have to book it out months in advance.
So Sherri, from 0 tattoos to 2 tattoos.
Tattoos.
To 2 tattoos. You glad you did it?
Yes.
Any regrets?
Are you glad that I did?
Any regrets, even any percentage at all?
No.
No? I'm really glad you did it, and I'm glad you did it more so than I just think it looks dope. I'm glad you did it because to me it's just another step in this whole, like, you're now living life process, right? Reclaiming your life. It's the nose piercing, it's the tattoos, it's all of these things that for years you've talked about and put off, and the reality is that over a year ago when this started, it was kind of your new beginning. It was your fresh start.
Right.
And so now you're actually doing that.
Stepping into that.
I think it's so freaking cool.
Thank you.
Plus, it's just sexy.
Thanks.
Right? Like, let's be honest, like, there's something about tattoos. They're just sexy, aren't they?
Well, I agree.
They really are.
They are.
So, all right, you guys, there's Sherri's tattoo story. Again, we're gonna link down below to her Instagram. Would love for you to go check her out, give her a follow.
Yep.
She does cool work.
Yes, she does.
All right, friends, we love you guys. We'll see you on the next LeggLife video.